Have you ever wondered if a man's feelings after sex are real or just an act? It's a question that puzzles many, especially when trying to decode men's behavior after sex. Understanding the difference between genuine attachment and temporary physical interest can save you from confusion and heartbreak. The key lies in recognizing authentic post-sex signs. A man who's truly hooked isn't simply focused on the moment, but the connection that follows. So, how do you spot the real deal? Men's behavior after sex reveals much more than you might think. Notice whether he stays close, communicates openly, or disappears without a trace. These are subtle yet powerful post-sex cues that indicate his emotional investment. Many women overlook these signs, mistaking physical intimacy for a deeper connection. But don't be fooled. Real interest is clear when you know what to look for. Can you recognize when a man's heart is genuinely engaged beyond the bedroom scene? The secret to discerning true attachment lies in his consistency and reactions right after. Does he show signs of caring or just physical satisfaction? This question can make all the difference. The moment after intimacy often exposes authentic desires and motives, revealing whether he's hooked or just passing time. If you want to avoid uncertainty in your relationship, paying close attention to these moments is essential. Ready to uncover the unmistakable signs? If you think it's just about physical closeness, think again. Men's emotional responses after sex are often involuntary. They can't fake how they truly feel. This is why some behaviors are telling, deeply rooted in biology and psychology. Stick around as we break down these important signals and teach you how to tell if he's truly hooked. Coming up next is the real reason men can't fake what they do right after sex. Don't miss it. Men's behavior after sex often reveals feelings they try to hide. Why? Because the brain and body don't lie. When a man is truly hooked, his emotions show naturally in subtle ways that are impossible to fake. This is one of the most powerful signs you can look for if you want to understand his post-sex intentions. Curious what that moment looks like? This can't fake moment is all about his natural, unfiltered response. Men's hormone response after sex triggers real emotional bonding that's beyond control. The release of oxytocin, the so-called love hormone, creates an automatic bond between partners. So, even if a man tries to act casual, his body language and behavior will reveal his true feelings. This is why spotting authentic signs a man is hooked after sex is so important. You might ask, how can this knowledge help me? Once you grasp how men's biology works in post-sex bonding, you won't get tricked by superficial charm or mixed signals. Instead, you'll spot when he's genuinely emotionally connected. Can you imagine being able to tell the difference between real attachment and fleeting physical interest? That clarity can change your relationships forever. Soon we'll dive into one of the simplest yet most telling signs of emotional connection after sex. The moment he chooses to stay or slip away says more than words ever could. So don't go anywhere. The truth is about to be revealed in a way that no man can hide. Is he lingering beside you or quietly slipping away after sex? That split-second decision is a major clue to his feelings. Men's post-sex behavior often speaks louder than words. Those who are hooked naturally want to stay close and experience emotional intimacy. On the flip side, slipping away can mean he's less invested or overwhelmed. Which one is he doing? This question can help you read the whole situation. Staying close isn't just about physical warmth, it's a sign of genuine post-sex connection. When a man holds you or cuddles, he's releasing oxytocin and reinforcing an emotional bond. This isn't a random act, it's a biological response showing he feels safe and connected. If you notice this pattern, it's a strong indication of authentic attachment. Have you experienced this kind of closeness after intimacy? On the contrary, if he quickly withdraws or avoids lingering time, it might indicate emotional distance or confusion. Many men wrestle with vulnerability, so sometimes withdrawal doesn't mean lack of interest, but fear. Recognizing these behaviors as part of men's post-sex emotional struggles helps avoid misunderstanding. Would knowing this change how you interpret his actions? In the next segment, we'll explore what real interest looks like after sex, beyond physical touch. These deeper signs often show commitment and a true emotional connection. Stay tuned because understanding this could be the game changer in your relationship. Real interest after sex goes beyond a simple hug or kiss. It shows up in how he treats you afterward, his willingness to connect, and the energy he invests in you. Genuine male interest after sex manifests as active communication, emotional openness, and consistent attention. These are the signs every woman deserves to recognize if she wants an honest relationship. So, what should you be looking for? For example, does he ask meaningful questions? Is he curious about your day or feelings after intimacy? These behaviors reveal he values your emotional world as much as the physical one. Men who show real interest are invested in your entire being. Listening to how he communicates post-sex gives you powerful clues about his emotional state. Have you noticed these kinds of conversations? Additionally, real interest might include planning to see you again or checking in to see how you feel. This thoughtful follow-up is a key sign of a solid post-sex connection and emotional investment. It demonstrates his commitment goes beyond just pleasure. He cares about the relationship's future. Can you spot these efforts in your interactions? Coming up, we'll discuss the importance of next-day contact and why it's a critical post-sex connection signal. If you want to understand the full spectrum of male behavior after sex and what it means, don't miss what's next. Why does it matter if he contacts you the day after sex? Because follow-up communication is one of the strongest signs a man is emotionally hooked. Genuinely interested men don't disappear. They want to maintain a connection and show they care. A simple good morning or thinking of you message can say more than words. Are you hearing from him when it counts? The next day contact signals that he values the bond formed and wants to nurture it. It's a clear post-sex relationship cue that he's invested emotionally, not just physically. Men who ghost or delay contact often indicate emotional distance or uncertainty. Recognizing this pattern can help you avoid endless guessing games. Have you experienced this kind of radio silence? Timing is crucial here. Immediate but not overwhelming messages reveal balance and genuine interest. Unlike impulsive texts, thoughtful follow-ups indicate a man with long-term intentions. This behavior builds trust and deepens emotional connection, essential components of lasting relationships. Can you differentiate meaningful communication from casual chatter? In the next section, we'll explain why oxytocin, the hormone behind bonding, is the game changer for men after sex. Understanding his biology will boost your insight into those can't fake post-intimacy signals. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Have you heard about the love hormone, oxytocin, and how it affects men after sex? This powerful chemical floods the brain during intimacy, forging a deep emotional bond. Oxytocin release is a natural biological response and plays a big role in why men show emotional behaviors post-sex. Understanding this hormone helps decode why men can't fake their feelings after making love. Want to know how this magic chemical works? Oxytocin triggers trust, closeness, and bonding between partners, making men feel vulnerable yet connected. This explains why some men seek cuddles or emotional conversations after intimacy. They crave that hormonal connection. When a man is hooked, oxytocin strengthens his motivation to build a lasting relationship rather than just a fling. Isn't it fascinating how biology drives love without us even noticing? Knowing about oxytocin gives you a scientific edge in reading male behavior after sex. If he consistently seeks closeness, it's not just habit, but a physiological need. This hormone influences his success mindset about relationships and deepens emotional commitment over time. Can you see how these biological responses set the foundation for lasting love? What it means when he holds you close after sex, an instinctive gesture powered by oxytocin. Learn to spot this genuine sign of emotional attachment that men can't fake or control. Keep watching, the truth is even more revealing than you expect. Why does a man hold you close after sex? That simple act is one of the strongest signs he's emotionally attached and hooked. Post-sex cuddling or holding reflects his desire to maintain intimacy and connection, not just physical release. This behavior represents more than comfort, it's a subconscious expression of trust and affection. Have you noticed if he lingers to hold you longer than average? Cuddling after intimacy releases oxytocin and reduces stress, deepening the bond between partners. Men who hold their partner close often seek reassurance, safety, and emotional closeness, key ingredients for a healthy relationship mindset. This subtle post-sex behavior shows he sees you as more than just a hookup. Are you ready to recognize this sign when it appears? If he's distant or avoids touch after sex, it could mean something completely different, lack of emotional investment or unresolved issues. But when he pulls you into his arms, it's a clear message that you are important to him. These physical signs typically confirm the signs a man is hooked after sex and not faking his feelings. Can you feel the difference? Next, we'll talk about an often overlooked indicator. Does he talk about the future? This topic offers deep insight into his real intentions after intimacy. Stay tuned to learn how plans reveal a man's emotional investment in you. How does he talk about the future after sex? Conversations about upcoming plans can be a green flag or a red flag in disguise. When a man sincerely includes you in his future, it's a clear sign he's hooked and ready to invest emotionally. But vague or unrealistic promises might mean he's not fully committed. Asking yourself this question helps clarify your true emotional state. Curious which sign applies to your relationship? Men who talk about the future show a success mindset rooted in hope and emotional connection. Discussing trips, life goals, or important events together signals he's thinking long-term, not just focused on fleeting pleasure. This post-sex conversation reveals his openness to building a relationship rather than casual encounters. Are these meaningful talks part of your experience? On the other hand, beware of patterns where he avoids or dismisses future discussions. Men unwilling to engage here may be emotionally unavailable or unsure of their feelings. Recognizing the difference between genuine and forced future talk can protect your heart from disappointment. Would you recognize the subtle cues in these conversations? How his body language right after sex can betray what he feels inside. This post-sex nonverbal communication often confirms whether he's truly hooked or faking emotions. Don't miss it. Ever noticed how a man's body language after sex says more than what he says? Men's nonverbal cues after sex are powerful indicators of emotional connection. From eye contact to touch, these subtle physical signals reveal the truth about his feelings. Words can be scripted or fake, but body language rarely lies. Want to learn the most telling signs? When a man maintains eye contact, smiles gently, or mirrors your movements post-sex, it shows he's engaged and emotionally present. These subconscious behaviors demonstrate warmth, trust, and genuine interest. Men who are hooked naturally display these physical signs as part of their emotional bonding process. Have you spotted these tells in your relationships? Conversely, crossed arms, turning away, or avoiding eye contact after intimacy can signal an emotional barrier or detachment. Understanding these post-sex nonverbal cues can prevent confusion and misreading signals. Are you ready to become fluent in your partner's silent language after intimacy? Why is asking personal questions after sex such a big deal? When a man is truly hooked, his curiosity goes beyond physical attraction. He wants to understand your thoughts, feelings, and life story. This emotional investment signals he sees you as more than just a sexual partner. Are you paying attention to his questions after intimacy? Men who ask deep personal questions demonstrate an emotional connection that builds trust and attachment. This behavior shows he values your inner world and wants to know what makes you tick. It also indicates a healthy success mindset in relationships, focusing on emotional depth and growth. Has he shown this level of engagement with you? On the other hand, superficial or no questions after sex might signal detachment or lack of real interest. Recognizing this difference helps you avoid investing in someone emotionally unavailable. Would knowing how to spot this clue save you from unnecessary heartache? In the next segment, we'll explore the often misunderstood refractory period and its surprising effect on post-sex bonding in men. Stay with us to uncover this essential biological insight. Did you know that a man's refractory period directly impacts emotional bonding after sex? This biological reset phase is when his body recovers physically, but his emotional availability can be affected too. Understanding the refractory period explains why sometimes he seems distant right after intimacy. It's not rejection, it's biology playing a major role in his post-sex mindset. Curious how this timing affects your connection? The refractory period varies greatly between men, influencing their motivation to connect emotionally after sex. Some bounce back quickly and show signs of bonding, while others need more time to restore energy and emotional openness. This delay can sometimes create misunderstandings about his true feelings. Knowing this helps you differentiate between biology and emotional disinterest. Have you ever felt confused when he pulls away briefly? Timing is everything when building a relationship. If he respects this natural rhythm and stays emotionally present as he recovers, it's a strong sign he values your connection. Men with a healthy success mindset understand that emotional closeness develops over time and through patience. Knowing how to interpret these biological rhythms gives you a better edge in your relationship. Wouldn't it be great to decode these natural behaviors confidently? Coming up, we'll reveal why some men seem distant after sex and what that means. Don't miss the truth behind emotional withdrawal and how to respond wisely. Is he distant after sex? Before jumping to conclusions, consider this: men sometimes appear emotionally withdrawn post-intimacy, for reasons beyond a lack of interest. Emotional distancing can stem from vulnerability, fears, or past experiences, not rejection. Recognizing this can save you from misreading his behavior and damaging a developing bond. Are you ready to see through the surface? Men often struggle with showing vulnerability, especially right after sex when emotions run high. This can cause temporary withdrawal as they process feelings internally. If you understand this emotional struggle, it allows compassion instead of frustration to take the lead in your interactions. Would empathy change the way you interpret his distance? That said, repeated or prolonged emotional withdrawal after sex may signal deeper issues or disconnection. Early awareness of these patterns helps you decide if he's genuinely hooked or emotionally unavailable. Spotting these signs is crucial in protecting your emotional well-being and steering your relationship toward success. Can you trust your intuition when these moments arise? Next, we'll explain a fascinating element called the Coolidge effect and why novelty influences his emotional investment after sex. Stay tuned, it's a surprising factor in male bonding you might not expect. You might wonder why some men lose interest quickly, even after a deep connection. The Coolidge effect explains this mystery. It's a biological phenomenon where males show renewed sexual interest in novel partners. This instinct can impact his emotional investment, particularly in early relationships. Understanding this effect reveals why timing and novelty matter for keeping a man hooked. Want to know how to keep his attention long term? The Coolidge effect influences male motivation, meaning a man's brain and body respond differently depending on novelty. If the emotional and sexual experience feels repetitive, his interest may fade temporarily, not because he doesn't care, but because of evolutionary biology. This is important when analyzing men's behavior after sex and their attachment signals. How can you use this knowledge to nurture lasting intimacy? Balancing novelty with emotional bonding creates a powerful success mindset in relationships. Mixing excitement with meaningful connection counters novelty's natural effect and reinforces his attachment. Men who feel emotionally secure are less likely to be distracted by new stimuli. Could this be the secret to a stable, passionate relationship? Next, discover why his effort beyond the bedroom, like planning dates or meaningful gestures, is the #1 sign he's truly hooked. This clue distinguishes casual flings from serious emotional connections. Is he putting effort into your relationship outside of intimacy? This might be the clearest sign he's emotionally hooked. Men who invest time in planning dates, meaningful conversations, and thoughtful gestures show a success mindset rooted in commitment. Effort beyond the bedroom builds trust and deepens emotional connection, two essentials for lasting love. Are you noticing consistent effort from him? Actions speak louder than words. When a man cares, he shows it by making plans and staying in touch regularly. This behavior signals he values you and the relationship beyond physical attraction alone. Men who are hooked demonstrate this effort naturally. Ignoring these signs puts you at risk of confusing casual flings with something genuine. How often does he make these meaningful efforts? Conversely, lack of effort is often the first warning sign of detachment or disinterest. Recognizing patterns of minimal involvement early saves you from emotional disappointment. Does his behavior align with his words, or does he just say what you want to hear? Have you noticed shared jokes or little rituals developing between you after intimacy? These moments go beyond physical connection. They indicate emotional bonding and trust. Men who create inside jokes with their partner are building a unique emotional world together. This is a strong sign he's truly hooked and invested in the relationship's growth. Have you experienced these special connections? Shared moments create a sense of belonging and exclusivity between partners. When a man actively participates in these micro-bonding experiences, it signals his emotional commitment. It's part of his success mindset around building a meaningful relationship, not just casual fun. Can you recognize these subtle but powerful emotional ties? Inside jokes and shared stories also function as emotional glue, strengthening intimacy over time. They foster a deeper understanding and trust that makes couples feel more connected. For men, this builds a secure place where vulnerability feels safe, helping them stay hooked. Are you cultivating these moments in your relationship? Next, we'll dive into a rare but important behavior: how men show vulnerability after sex and why it's so meaningful. This unguarded openness often signals deep emotional investment that can't be faked. Can men show vulnerability after sex? The answer is yes, and it's one of the clearest signs he's truly hooked. Vulnerability after intimacy means he's opening up emotionally, trusting you in a way few actions can communicate. This rare behavior signals a man's emotional investment and desire for a meaningful connection. Have you ever noticed a man letting down his guard right after sex? Men's vulnerability might show through sharing fears, hopes, or simply relaxing completely in your presence. When a man feels safe enough to be emotionally raw, it means he values your presence deeply. This behavior is a direct reflection of a healthy success mindset oriented toward long-term emotional bonding, not just physical gratification. Would you recognize it if he showed you this kind of openness? Many men struggle with vulnerability, making this behavior a precious indicator of commitment. If he is willing to reveal his true self post-intimacy, it's a sign he's serious about building trust and emotional closeness with you. Can you appreciate the power of this unspoken, heartfelt connection? Why consistent behavior after sex beats flashy displays of interest every time? Don't miss learning the no-fail signs that show authenticity and emotional engagement. Does his interest feel steady or like a roller coaster? Consistency after sex is a reliable marker of genuine emotional attachment. Men who are hooked show up regularly, not just in bursts of excitement or flashy gestures. Understanding the difference between consistent emotional engagement and temporary charm can save you from confusion and heartache. What kind of interest are you experiencing? Flashy interest might look impressive at first: sudden texts, grand romantic gestures, or wildfire passion. But without consistency, these often fade quickly, leaving emotional distance behind. Men who maintain steady, dependable attention prioritize building a connection that lasts. Recognizing this pattern separates fleeting infatuation from true commitment. Are you ready to spot the difference? Consistency also shows respect and discipline. Tips for maintaining relationships: a key part of a successful mindset. A man who values you daily through small acts or steady communication is more likely hooked and emotionally invested. Are you seeing reliable behaviors from him, not just occasional sparks? Next, we'll talk about when early sex might backfire on emotional investment. Timing is crucial for bonding. Keep watching to learn how to protect your heart while fostering real commitment. Could having sex too early affect his emotional investment? Surprisingly, yes. Timing matters when it comes to building a genuine connection after sex. When intimacy happens too soon, some men struggle to develop a strong emotional bond, impacting motivation and long-term interest. This insight is critical for those seeking a lasting, emotionally rich relationship. Ever wondered if timing plays a bigger role than passion? Early physical connection can sometimes trigger the Coolidge effect, when novelty decreases and emotional investment struggles to catch up. Men's hormone response after sex also needs time to align with relationship goals. Without this balance, the success mindset toward commitment weakens. Could waiting a little longer create stronger emotional foundations? On the other hand, couples who blend emotional intimacy with physical connection at the right pace often enjoy deeper bonding. Male biology and psychology both favor nurturing relationships that develop holistically, not just physically. Understanding how to synchronize physical and emotional readiness protects your heart and builds true love. Does this change your perspective on timing intimacy? Why initiating aftercare is behaviors like talking or cuddling is a major indicator he's hooked. Don't miss this valuable cue next.